Hey, Doc, give me a second.
Okay.
All right. I just finished sharing to every place. My Lord. And then I was testing the sound. I was wondering if I could hear it without us being in this background like this. And we had this picture up. Speaking of which, real quick, Grow America presents yoga with the youth, people. Yes, we are going to have yoga with the youth at the beach. Join us September 11, 2021 from 11 to 1 p.m. at Marquette Park, Gary, Indiana. There will be stretching, there will be yoga, there will be isometrics, metrics, hands-only CPR training will be there. Rock Truth will be in the building as well as Rock Truth Fitness. You see us down there. Yeah, hello.
Yeah.
Please contact Zanny Hart to register 317-426-0146. Yes, I'm so excited about that. I'm so excited about just everything that we're out here doing because we're infecting and affecting, change and culture. So
exactly. I've been watching movies all day. I watched, what was that? Sweet Girl on Netflix. Man, I was like, whole time. And the girl in it is Dora. I was like, this is Dora. I'm like, Mama. Yes, the girl that played Dora the Explorer in the live action. Yes, it was Dora doing all the act. I'm like, this girl. Which came first, this movie or Dora?
Right. That's super dope. Like I'm telling you, when I finish this, like I'm actually a day ahead for whatever reason. I keep thinking it's Thursday, and for real, sis. Did you see what I posted? I posted the Rock True Queens ad.
Yeah, I thought. Oh, okay. I thought you was just getting ahead of okay.
No, I am literally a day ahead. I am like right now, because all I got on my mind is go.
Yep.
I don't
wake up. All right, we at it again. All right, wake up. We at it again.
I don't know nothing but go. That's it. I don't. Hello. I can't. I'm sorry. I don't. When I say I got tissues for your issues, I don't. Go.
Okay.
And I'm on straight go. I don't have time for nothing but God right now, and not just
I don't know. People been feeling some type of way because I be telling people like, you know what? It sounds like you minding somebody else's business. Like how people come to you for advice and stuff. They want you to, I guess, amen and they choir and all that. I'm like, this sounds like somebody else's business. Like, why are you upset? What you upset about? You upset about somebody else's business?
Listen.
What you mean? This is my business because it affects me like that. No, you want it to affect you because you minding somebody else's business.
I'm telling you, I'm in the shower today. I promise you. I said to me, please tell your story, but don't tell my business. The moment you start going into some part about somebody else's business, that part ain't to be told.
Right.
You and only you. We talked about that a few weeks ago. When I think of you, the appropriate times to think about yourself, talk about yourself, and when that time comes, for whatever reason, people don't want to do that.
No, because it sounds too much like right. It sounds too much like minding your own business.
It, Doc. That's what that sound like.
Yeah, I'm just like, and then because it's like, I don't know, like, and a lot of times it's like, well, no, because I think they should. They should what? They should what? They should what? Yeah, ain't no should. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. Virtual hug, elbow cough. Hey, Shantae.
That's Shantae and Jordan. I just got off the phone with them. I said, I'm gonna call you back in a minute, sis.
Thank you, Angela.
Hey, the collaboration queen. No, congratulations to you. You talking about congratulations to us. Congratulations to you. Dude, the queen of collaboration. I promise you. I promise you. She like this for people. If you remember the We Are the World and they would have a thingy and everybody.
Yeah, everybody hands.
This is Angela right here. Like, I don't even know if they knew that it was her, but the whole time it was her like this. Next to the black and the white people, it was an Asian on the left and the white person.
She was the We Are the World spokesperson.
Come on, Queen. I promise you. And man, inspirational. Shout out to Miss Michelle McCain. Miss Michelle McCain.
Yes, you saw that. I was like, oh my God. That was so sweet.
Oh my God. And then I
feel so loved. Yeah, I was like, oh, I feel so loved. Thank you.
I know, me too. Me too. I was just looking like, what is going on here? Yes, 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 yes. Yes, love you too, sis. Promise, promise. Love you too. Okay, so today, guys, we are closing out our Baywatch season, man. We're closing out our Baywatch season. Trust you me, we'll be back next year to do this all over again. So before we get started with our subject, let's kind of recap. Let's kind of recap and look at, where we are and how, before we talk about where we are today, how we got here. Because everything was strategic. Everything was strategic and put in order, for our learning purposes. So we initially, Doc, we started talking about catching friends and not feelings. Quick spiel on that. Catching friends and not feelings. Being whole. Being whole.
And mastering singleness in that. What are your rights, roles, and responsibility as a friend? Okay, and that, oh man, we had so many stumbling blocks on that. Like, we kind of ran into this subject very early on in our RockSingle show, so that was fun. But I was really glad that I was able to really dive deep and present the full idea of that. And it's, you should be a friend regardless.
Queen.
Anyways,
Queen.
Independent of, this means not dependent on what the other person is doing or how they making you feel.
My queen.
You are supposed to be a friend.
Independent. You don't want to be independent. Unless it's Beyonce telling you to be independent.
I can't make it make sense. Doing the right thing at the wrong time. What you doing?
But it was no, that don't count. That was not gonna count, guys. But you're absolutely correct. Be the friend anyway. You have one job. Send the signal. Signal. Love, give,
keep it simple.
Repeating that process. I correct you when you're wrong. I do not tolerate you. I do not accept you.
Boom.
What's wrong with that?
Because all of that is, what is that? Condoning. What is that? Foolish behavior. All of that. The being nice. We're not here to be nice. We are here to be kind.
Where did he tell you in the Bible to be nice? We'll just come up with stuff just so we can not do what he told us to do.
Because it sounds good.
And everything that sound good, what ain't sound? Come on, y'all, these basics. Be the friend anyway. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm discovering, and as I come to a close with Baywatch, we use people. Listen to me. We use people to fill in the gaps of our own insecurities.
Boom.
How horrible is that?
And on misrepresentation and misidentity, because you are already misrepresenting yourself. You use the people around you to reinforce this false identity that you piece together, that you've put up this facade, like, oh yeah, I got my stuff together. The whole time back here, you ain't got nothing together. But you use these people that you put this facade up to reinforce that. Oh yeah, she do this, she do that, she don't do none of that. She don't do none of that.
Teach. And when you think you have it together, that's where it doesn't count. It doesn't matter if you got cars, clothes, houses. It doesn't matter if you got a good job. It doesn't. You fail in relationship.
Yeah, when every time somebody be themselves, you're triggered.
You
When anytime somebody bring up something that you have done, these are
Queen.
facts that they bringing up. They not
Queen.
making nothing up. They're like, yeah, you said you was
Yeah.
gonna call me. You didn't call me. What you mean I didn't call you? Like, I get the call log here. It's no call from me. Like, but that's how people are triggered by actual factuals, but they
That's
don't
that.
want you to
My
address them.
actual queen. They
Yep, they
are
don't want you to
queen.
correct them.
We see it's stuff like this. When you be talking like that, you're gonna get us kicked off the air.
Oh, my bad.
I'm gonna shut it down. My Lord. Come
Mm.
on, people. Come
That's what
on.
it is. But that's the challenge, to be the great in you, not just be good, not just be okay or cool. Like, well, at least I'm not. No, 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 no. We not falling back on no at least. Okay,
That's
there
what
was
we
never no at least anywhere in the Bible. It said, well, at least he died on the cross for us. Like, huh? What?
Queen.
I
Good
don't think that's how it works.
Who would believe him? And it's so crazy. No, because you know what? I find myself sometimes doing that even in conversation because I want to make somebody else feel comfortable. Let me tell you something. I'm done with that. If you're not
Okay,
comfortable in your skin, you're not comfortable in your skin. But I'm not about to dummy me down
you
and be like, well,
problem.
I ain't. No, I am all of that. He said I am. I was worth dying for. So
And a bag of chips.
you hear me? You hear me? Girl, please, if I'm gonna walk around here because you think low of you and you don't believe him, and I do, and I'm supposed to walk around, no, I'm not gonna misrepresent him like serving him ain't bomb. It's bigger.
Okay,
It's bigger.
okay. And
Okay.
every time you shrink yourself, you are dishonoring him and his creation and who he created you to be. Like, I'm learning that. Like, I'm like, because it's like I used to say something, people be like, what are you talking about? Like, and I had to realize that, yeah, sometimes your words gonna go over people's head, but that's they problem. They gotta get their milk crates. Okay. They got this milk crate challenge. They better get their milk crates and level up. All right. So if I say some words you don't understand, get you a dictionary and look it up. That's how you
You
expand
have
your
to.
vocabulary. I'm not
You
dumbing
have
down what I'm gonna say because I feel like, oh, they won't understand it. Ask what I just
to.
said then. But people don't want to be, oh, well, I don't want to look dumb. Okay, well, you look dumber, not asking me what I meant and then responding to something that I did not say because you didn't understand what I said. And it happens a lot too. And I'm just like, you obviously didn't understand what I said, did you? And they be like, no, I know exactly what you said. No, I don't think so, given what you responded with. That's not at all what I even said.
And stuff like that. And people think you're crazy. People think because they don't see that's the thing. You're not understanding when you are one whole and complete, everything lines up your mind as well as your speech. And so when your mind, your speech, your actions. So when these things aren't one and the same and there's an inconsistency somewhere, that means it's an inconsistency everywhere.
Boom.
You're just trying to cover. And real people that are whole, one, and complete can see you from a mile away. And you try to play like, oh, this ain't that. Oh, it's all of that.
Come
I
look at
saw
this. You
that,
see?
and so did you. So did you.
Oh, they doing that. They actually trying to do.
But you know what, Queen? What is our job? To be the friend anyway.
Exactly.
Anyway.
Okay. Let's get through into the level up. Okay. That's the thing. Like, people keep talking about like leveling up and stuff, but that it's a transformation. Like, that it's gonna be scary. It's gonna hurt. It's gonna bring up all types of stuff that you don't want to deal with. But that is transformation. Supposed to know what you transforming into. Do you think a caterpillar know what a butterfly is? Do you think a caterpillar on a leaf and a butterfly fly by like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be that one day? It don't have no idea. It's like, I need to eat. Oh, I'm hungry. I'm gonna eat this
Oh
leaf.
my
I'm gonna
God.
eat that leaf. I'm gonna eat this. Man, I'm kind of tired. I'm gonna spin me up a cocoon. I'm gonna chill out. And then it wakes up and it's a butterfly. Like, whoa, what just happened?
Great. I'm not just a normal tired. I'm kind of sleepy. Like I know I got some good rest last night, but for whatever reason, I'm sleepy. Let me go today. Wrap up real tight today. I don't. But listen. Do they even look alike?
At all. You would
You ain't
never be able to tell, like, oh yeah, that's gonna be me one day with them wings and flying and
green.
they don't know
So
that.
they
They don't know
never
that.
even saw what they would look. So in the mirror, when they see, they don't even see their true identity, just like us. They only see what's before them, just like us. Just look at when you talk about level up, look at where the caterpillar dwells and look at where the butterfly flies. It ain't even on the ground. It ain't even crawling on its belly doing this
Mm-mm.
this no more. This here when they be trying to sis scooching, trying to get what they got. Now they can get everywhere they gotta go.
Yes. Mm.
Mm.
Yeah, butterflies are
Oh,
awesome.
complete. They are. I love butterflies. I love the orange ones. Every time I see
Yeah.
one, note change. I know again about that caterpillar. There is no more going back to the cocoon. Once transformation has taken place, you can't
That's
go.
it.
You
And the
can't.
other thing is, you get no help. It's a requirement that you come out of that cocoon by yourself, or guess what? Your wings won't work.
Queen. Who went in there?
Butterflies have to struggle to get out of the cocoon because it strengthens their wings. And then also the friction of their wings being pulled out of the cocoon pulls like it's like a membrane or something that's on their wings that coats them so that that dust, that little powder or whatever that's on their wings can dry out. So if they don't
Yes.
struggle out of the cocoon, they lose their ability to fly and they actually die. So you get no help with this transformation.
Teach.
None. So don't look to your friend, don't look to your cousin, your mama, your aunt. No,
Oh,
nobody can
it's
help you.
the
That is
mama,
on
not the
you.
sister, but it's me, oh Lord. See, we'll just sing songs to sing them. Not my mama, not my sister, but it's me, oh Lord, standing in the need.
Mm.
That's what you're in the need. And this is a walk for only you and only you. There are some places where
Straight and
people
narrow,
ain't
narrow
going.
path. A lot of people don't fit side. They don't fit side by side on a narrow path. That's a one person
You see
walkway
that?
right there. So
You see that, sis? You said
mhm.
sometimes it's like this. So how's gonna be
Right.
two
You
people?
gotta suck it in too. Got shouldn't have had that donut before I got on the path. Oh,
That's it. You gotta be cautious. You can't just be sliding on and you obese.
oh no.
Gluttony, you have a gluttony mind. You have a mind frame where you'll do too much of anything. If you'll do too much of
Anything.
one thing, you'll do too much of anything.
Mm-hmm.
So this is definitely how we started RockSingle with this. Like we can continue on. We have really hit every avenue of what it is that we've talked about throughout this season. And today we're going to talk about the safety precautions. I'm sorry, I have the comments still up. We're going to talk about the safety provisions. I'm sorry, and I say that on purpose. Safety
Mm-hmm.
provisions, right? These
Yep.
are visions or ideas that you can have prior to going into a situation that will help you remain safe while you're out here relating to each other. And this is imperative. I really wanted you to speak on safety because there's a lot of things that can happen when you're not safe. A lot of things that are, left out on the beach. One in particular,
Broken glass everywhere. That's
everywhere, Queen. The hazards or potential harm that can happen with broken glass. What things can
well,
occur?
well, the thing is, your skin. People don't understand how important their skin is. Your skin is an organ. Okay, we think of our organs as something that's inside our body, but your skin is the largest organ on your body, and not only does it protect the outside, but also protects the inside. So you have an internal cavity as well that is lined with skin cells. So your skin it wraps around the outside and the inside of your body, and it is an organ, and it's alive. Every single skin cell is alive, and it has its own function, its own it carries DNA and all that stuff. That's why you got too much dandruff, you can mess around and mess up a crime scene. So don't go commit no crimes if you got bad dandruff because you're leaving your DNA everywhere. And and the thing, yeah.
Y'all watch the Raise the Clouds, but when Doc tell you.
But your skin also protects you from the outside world. So it is your first line of defense. It is the first thing that the outside world comes into contact. Even before your immune system is triggered, your skin is protecting you. So when they tell you about when you're handling raw meat and things like that, or if you're coming into contact with other people's blood, they say it is imperative that you make sure you do not have any cuts or anything on, your fingers and stuff, and that you're wearing gloves and all of that. However, there are very small cuts that you do not even know that you have that exposes you to the outside environment. If you rub something too rough or too hard, you might have broken the skin and not even known it. It's plenty of times I look down, I see like a little, that little slit in your skin. It's like you can tell the skin starting to peel from where it was like cut. I'm like, when did I get that little cut? You don't even know you didn't cut your hand on something or your finger or something on your arm, or you don't know where you got this cut from.
No,
And you just out here exposed.
I mean it. When did this happen?
You go and wash your hands. Like, why does that sting so much? Because you didn't have a cut on your hand, didn't even know it. The hangnails, the little skin on your finger that peel back, that's actually exposing your hands. So when that's peeling back like that, that's why I say getting manicures is a good idea, because they cut away that excess skin so it's not peeling, drying up, and exposing your fingertips, because you're touching things with your hands. So that's going to be the first point of contact with a lot of things that you come into contact with, and you got these unknown open doors all on your fingers that you put in your hands in stuff. Okay, and so now you don't even know that you're susceptible to stuff, and you thinking like, oh no, I'm Gucci, I ain't got no cuts or nothing. Like, no, I'm healthy, I'm good to go. And then you all in, you're not wearing gloves, so you're not wearing your PPE. This is your personal protective equipment, okay? Your PPE, all right. So you ain't got your gloves and stuff on like you supposed to, and they probably didn't got a sign: do not handle other people's blood because it is a biohazard without gloves. And you out here without, don't worry, I got you. We could just do this real quick. Boom, boom. And the whole time you didn't let all of they situation into your situation, and you don't even know it.
Teach, sis, in the name of I'm just trying to help. Sometimes helping is hindering.
That butterfly. You pull a butterfly out of its cocoon thinking you helping it. You just killed that butterfly.
You just killed it. Because you did not allot for the opportunity for this butterfly to grow up right. You jumped the gun for your own personal, like, come on out.
Right. Because you were impatient. Because you was ready to see it fly and flitter around and all of that.
And for why? For them or for you? For them or for you? And that's what we're finding out here. People are beneficiaries. We ain't in relationships. You are a beneficiary for somebody.
What? Oh. That's my shirt. My shirt says some people just need a high five in the face.
Yeah.
Like, you dang, dog, what you do that for? Right on the forehead, just mush people. I miss the mush days. People like that used to be a thing. Like, it was a whole lot less violence because people was just trying to get like the most like craziest like upper level mush.
Come on.
Oh no!
V8. I should have had a V8.
Yeah. Straight like that. What you mean you don't eat enough fruits and vegetables? You could have had a V8.
And a lot of the time, listen to me. You could have had a V8. King, queen, you could have had a V8 and a cup of self-control.
There it is.
That's what you're inviting into yourself. Again, she's talking about your people. You are to personally protect you. Yep. Protect yourself. Protect yourself from people's ideas. Like, straight up. It's because it's their ideas. It's what they have now concocted in their mind based on their environmental factors. Beware. Don't take in everything. And even if you are, question why you are.
Yeah. That's it.
Talk about with the broken glass is in reference to, again, people who are attempting to help people. And when you step on broken glass, you can shatter somebody even more when you're not careful with their emotions, with who they are as a person, with what it is that they got going on. So it's sometimes better for you not to say not nothing. Not nothing.
Keep it to yourself. Especially when they not asking. Like, that's the thing that get me. It's like people don't even be asking for nobody input. Hey, yeah, I do about that. I thought rest Michelle Kane.
Yes, we love you, sis. Thank
Yep.
you so much.
And I believe now she has, is it her BA in psychology?
Yeah.
Yes.
Come on through there, Queen.
Okay, she put that pandemic to good use. Like we on lockdown. Well, I'm finna lock these books
What?
down then. All
What?
right.
And that's mastering singleness, minding your business. Okay? You know? Minding your business. There's a lot of people out here, they're looking for somebody there. Even myself. Like I do. I want to be married and stuff. But here's the thing, there are qualifications for this. And the
Mm-hmm.
qualifications don't start when you get in a marriage and then you looking for God to make it all right. That's not how he works. Stop out here lying. People that are in marriages and they like, well, it took us some time. That's because they got in a marriage prematurely, based on some other factors. More than likely, they were filling in gaps of their own insecurities.
Yep.
Okay. So eventually they decided that, you know what? I do want to make this thing work. Let's be friends. Like it should have been from the
I'm tired of arguing with you. I'm sorry. I'm tired.
beginning.
Like, oh, now you're tired.
Now
we like 10 years in, bro.
and now you tired of arguing. I can't do it a second. But when you jump that gun, like seriously, you're jumping guns on God. You know what I'm saying? Then you want him to rescue. No, he don't work like that. What he's gonna do is take you right on back to origin. You're gonna have to start this thing over for his name's sake.
Drag you right on. Yep, don't even worry about it. We going. That's okay.
No, please. Like straight up, this is what it is that we're doing, and again, man, we have to learn how to relate to people. We have to learn how to communicate with people. Communication equals the relationship. You ain't talking, you ain't got it. And I don't just mean kicking the bowls, and I don't mean gossiping either. Listen, all gossipers shall have their part in the lake of fire too. That is murder. A lot of people out here that were like, "Oh, but at least I'm not a murderer." Oh,
Yeah, you are.
because you got a Jewish tongue.
You done murder somebody's character, and a lot of times words stick harder than physical traumas do. Verbal and emotional trauma is actually what ties you to physical trauma. Because talked about this before, the traumatic event is a moment. The thing that affects you afterward is the emotions and the perceptions that come from experiencing that trauma, because now you think like, oh, now I got to protect myself from this type of situation or this type of person, or when I see these type of signs, now I'm in fight or flight mode, because your brain don't know the difference between somebody actually trying to attack you or you feeling attacked. So somebody could have just been trying to correct you, but you saw it as an attack, and so now you taking like, oh, this person didn't traumatize me because they didn't say that I was wrong, huh? They said I needed to apologize for being disrespectful and lying and being in their business, like
and other people business.
I think that's how it works. I think you're supposed to do that. So responsibility.
That is because it's about right. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know if you were asking me. Hey, Josiah. Look, I didn't know if you were asking me, but I needed you to know that that is how that works. You got
they get the high five in the face. Don't worry. Could have had a V8. Don't worry, I got you.
I had a V8. I'm telling you, it's better. It's better. Just have the V8. What you believe over what you crave, have the V8.
Exactly. Yeah. But that's literally it right there. What you believe over what you crave. Because what you crave ain't always what's good for you. And you have to be aware of your beliefs so you can understand the difference.
Queen, that video, or rather the podcast that you sent me,
didn't they stop? Oh, didn't they stop? I was like,
oh, you can entertain fake food if you want to. I had to turn it off.
Yeah, when he said, I was like, oh, he said entertain. Oh my goodness. He said,
sis, you can entertain that little fake donut if you want to.
It's not gonna sustain you.
It's not going to sustain you. It's not going to keep you. It's actually going to make things within your system worse.
And I even love how he talked about how he encouraged his family to be better than they were on that same trip or in that same space 2 or 3 years prior. Like, we're not gonna do what we did last time. We're not
Yeah,
gonna do
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah,
So yeah, we gonna indulge a little bit. We out, we want to enjoy, what this city or have to offer. We like what they have, but we're not gonna do it the same way. We not all gonna get our own banana split. We're gonna get a banana split for the three of us, and we all three gonna eat because we already know it's not good for us. So why you need to overindulge? You don't
Number
need a
two,
whole one to yourself. You already know it's
you
not good
don't
for you.
need
So
all
why
of
you?
that. You don't need all of that. And this is part of that mastering singleness piece. You learn your body, you learn yourself, and you learn that you don't need to eat like that. You never did. You're really a lot of the times you just at home and you're bored and you'll be filling your mouth because you're not filling your head. You know? Jate, I do not want to leave you out. Welcome. Welcome.
Hello. I was listening, and even in the car, but yes, yes, yes.
Go ahead. I'm gonna mute.
Go ahead. I'm gonna mute. I know you. Yeah, but about the everything in moderation. So we had this conversation. How, like, even a doctor will tell you, because like some people will say, like a trainer, and not all will tell you, no donuts, no chips, no carbs, no. A doctor will tell you, you do not have to do no of those things. Just everything and anything in moderation, even outside of our diet. TV in moderation. You know what I mean? All things in moderation. You know what I mean? Something is only as bad for us, I believe, as much as we intake. TV is not bad for you, but if that's all you do, then it's absolutely bad for you. It's absolutely bad for you. So yeah, just what else did y'all talk about? The cocoon, the butterfly thing. So I think, well, I'm gonna say we will. I know that I have wanted to do that before. I've probably done that before. And honestly, you do it out of love because you feel like your intentions are to save that person. Because it's hard, especially when it's somebody you love and you're watching them go through this difficult process that we all have to go through. And so it's like, oh, I hate to see them like this. Excuse me, sir. I hate to see them go through this. Let me save them when we don't understand that process is necessary for them. It's necessary. So actually, you saving them is actually hurting them. Because whether the reality of the situation is they're going to have to go through to get to anyway. So whether they go through it now or they go through it at some point. So what we're doing is we are depriving them of that full growth. You know what I mean? Even so, when we take them out of the cocoon, they're no longer in the cocoon, that place that we didn't want to see them in, but they're still not a butterfly though. They're still not a butterfly. And even when you said, is it for us or is it for them? So even sometimes it could be a little bit of both. So you're not doing them any good, and you're also not doing yourself any good, because the reality situation is they are not that fullness that you actually really desire. Let them finish growing. I'm currently, and it's like, oh, I hate hearing these things. I hate hearing you say that you're experiencing these things out of love, naturally, because I'm a lover. I want to save you, and I don't say that to them, but in my mind, because it's like that's what I do. Like I nurture, I love. I don't want to hear nobody be like, oh, I slept outside. Oh, I'm hungry. I'm whatever. Like my natural thing is to like save, but I had to like, and it was God, and I even heard like just because I had this idea, so then I came up with this plan in my head, right? To help them, and it's like, nope, don't do it, and not even don't do it, don't not do anything, but don't do what you were going to do. Teach. You know what I mean? Teach. Do not completely help them out, because this is needed. It's needed, and it's not. I even heard, it's not punishment, it's preparation. Then what did I was praying for them the other day, and I heard, I don't even want to lie, but it was like, it's not something, it's transfer. They're going through a transformation, and they have to go through this transformation so that they can become who I created them to be. and the version of them that you now, don't get me wrong, they're absolutely that person, but they are going in the process. So think about it, right? From the very moment we lay our eyes on cookie dough, it's a cookie. It is already a cookie. But you know what I mean? So they are what they are. He absolutely is exactly what you see, what you know to believe, but he is not done. He is a cookie, but he must bake.
Okay.
Yes.
Put that fire on.
Yeah, so it's like, like he you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
No.
You're not wrong, but you don't want the dough, you want the cookie. Let him bake it. Let him bake this.
Where you get the cheaper thing from?
Girl, listen. I don't even know what made me pick up. This is funny. My baby, and I don't tell you to a
No.
Oh my gosh, yo, that's funny. And like I just have a pic. I just picked this up and started. But my baby cousin, he turned 1 the other day, and they had this really cute centerpiece that was like the thing was Sour Patch, and they had a bouquet of candy. And girl, a Snicker was attached to this thing, and I just started.
I know that's right. 2 for 1. 2 for 1 or 6.
But yeah, so the process is so necessary so that we can get the proper results, the results that he wants us to have, and the results that we want. See, I'm not going to lie. We don't. Me and Will talked about this. I am just now becoming a waiter. I like that. Learning to wait. You know what I mean? And it's uncomfortable, but I'm understanding, and I'm like, listen, it's nothing wrong with you wanting, but don't even cheat yourself. Why cheat yourself again out of the fullness of that thing? You know what I mean? And even, thank God, we even sometimes, we'll see situations, and at the end they will play out properly. But think of all the things you got to go through in between that you would not have had to go through in between had you just let the cookie bake. You know what I mean? Like we don't like going through this right now in the beginning, right? So we want to skip over this uncomfortable and over this part of it. So we're going to, jump ahead, so to speak. At some point, it could be 10, it could be 15, it could be 20 years down the line. We're going to find ourselves right back to not the finished product. So better to do it now than do it later. You know what I mean? I never forget, real quick, when I first became a CDL driver, y'all, I had an accident my 3rd day. You couldn't tell me I wasn't fired. You cannot tell me. I mean, I was like, I don't want to lie and say I cried. I probably did, but I know I definitely almost cried if I didn't cry. Because I'm like, 3 days. And so, like you got to, anytime you get in an accident, you got to call dispatch and be like, hey, I just, on this road, driving this big old bus that I had never driven before. Made a right turn and cut it too close, and I scraped the side of the bus. And it was so funny because I never forget, the woman was like, I won't say nothing. She's like, I won't say nothing. And I'm like, I gotta tell. I gotta tell. I don't want to tell. I'm like, because the reality situation, like, so we do pre-checks and we do checks after our shift. I'm like, so if I don't report this damage, the next person, when they do their pre-trip in the morning, they're going to note this damage. Or not even them. Maybe it might not get noticed till 3 weeks later. And so whoever drove that bus the day before that 3 weeks, more than likely now it's going to be like, oh, well, nobody noticed it before today. So you were the last known driver. And I'm like, I got to tell her myself. And I didn't get fired. And it was so funny, but when you have an accident, you have to go through retraining. You have to go with the safety guy and retrain and all that. And I remember telling him, like, I was so scared. I thought I was going to fire. He said, no. He said, if you are going to have an accident, he said, we would much rather you to have it in the beginning, which didn't, like I was thinking the very opposite. I just started, I have no business already crashing. You know what I mean? I'm done. But he was like, no, because you're new. So we were much, as, you're in the baby stage. Yeah. So this is the time for mistakes.
It's expected.
You know what I mean? So,
yeah. But look at what I like about. I hate that I'm. I hate that. Oh, okay. So, but look at the Rock True friend, right? The Rock True co-signing friend, and the idea, because in the listen, people will listen to that like, don't report it, don't tell, and people are not thinking at the end goal right now. We see that today because again, people will go out here killing each other and ain't thinking like there's a chance you may not come home either. We're not thinking past all the way to the end. So you just thinking like, okay, I can get away in this moment. But what you're not thinking about is one, that Rock True friend who like, I ain't gonna tell nobody. Gonna tell everybody, especially if they get mad at you, right? The moment they get mad, they're telling on you. And then they're not even encouraging you to the point of, hey, if you was to do that, the end result is going to be, it's still going to come back on you, queen. So if I was you, I would just be straight up and forth. If this ain't the job for you, God, maybe it's God remove you.
Okay. And that's the thing too, like just being honest up front saved you a whole lot of other blowback from afterwards, because even if, like, let's say you did get away with it, but like you said, the last known driver wasn't you. Yep. So if the person after you didn't notice this damage, but the person after that person notices, then somebody who didn't do the damage will end up in trouble for something they didn't do that you did. And you still gonna feel bad, and you still gonna, and your guilt or whatever still gonna make you come and say, nah, that was actually me. And then you probably would have been fired because you didn't report it.
So it's funny, my friend, she has this saying, she cracks me up with all her little sayings. She'd be like, guilt will make you tilt. So exactly like you said. So after just being me, I know that after I found out Susie get fired, there's no way I wasn't going to not tell myself eventually. And now, like you said, I'm definitely fired now. I'm not even fired because of the accident. Why am I fired? I'm fired because I didn't tell.
You're fired?
You're fired because of your character.
So the very sometimes, even with ourselves and with other people, we do these things to protect ourselves. To protect, you know what I mean? We don't want to lose these things. I didn't want to lose my job. But sometimes the very actions we take to protect and to save things are the very things that will cause us to down.
But people come and stab you back with later. When you realize, and that's the thing of, oh, this person stabbed me in the back. When you realize, when you really do the work and you heal, like actually healing, to heal, you have to take that knife out first. Because then you can't heal if the knife is still in there. So when you take that knife out, you're going to start noticing, you recognize those knives. Them out your kitchen drawer. You're the one that provided them with the knives. And you just mad because they use a knife to do what knives do, which is thick.
Queen!
Why you mad? Because they use a knife
with the knife
as a knife. Oh. But you gave it to okay, and then you turned your back. You gave them the knife and you turned around like they wasn't even paying attention to what you was saying when you was handing them the knife. They thought, and then you turned around and said, oh, I thought you wanted me to stick that in your back. I wasn't paying attention to what you was saying because I was living my own life, minding my own business, doing what I was doing because my situation is more important than whatever you got going on. Anyway. And like that's the thing, like you can't expect other people to be worried about what you have going on, and that's what too many people do. Oh, well, they should have known. Did you tell them?
Did you? Oh my God! Do you know how many issues, problems, concerns? Stuff. Let me tell you one thing. that get me. You didn't call me for my birthday. No. You didn't call me for your birthday. If you wanted me to say happy birthday to you, do you know you could have easily picked up the phone and called me? Instead of getting an attitude, telling myself, they ain't called me for my birthday. You're too grown at this point to be looking for birthday wishes. I at some point, grow up.
But what is that? That is pride. So instead of like, hey, listen, it could even be this. You know, like, dang, my sis should be like, listen, let's go out. Let's do something for my birthday. So that's what you desire. But your pride and your ego will not allow you to be like, hey, sis, you know it's my birthday. I'm trying to do this with you. No, you're going to sit around all day stubborn until 11:59 until it's 1 more minute, no longer your birthday. Then it's going to be, she ain't even in this. When you done wasted your whole day, you could have, when I ended up doing what you desired to do, had you just let go of your feelings, let go of your pride, let go of your thoughts, right?
They should have
Or when you felt like she should have did. No, if that's what you want, you go get it. You go get it.
Then they go and you end up not liking what they praying.
Right. I know. And then on top of that, you take it personal.
Oh, they don't know.
Goodness, she not my real friend. She don't really care. I knew. What? You got all of that from that? What? My God! Like,
they don't know. They don't. Man,
That'd be the one. I'm like, hold on, like
you don't know you. No.
Oh, you Polly Pocket now.
Yeah, you Polly Pocket.
You live in their pocket. They pull you out their pocket real quick. Like, hey, what you want for your birthday? You want to go to okay, put you back in their pocket. Okay. Like,
are you for real? And then, like you said, oh, they should have did this, but then they do something and you don't like it. We are selfish, and a lot of the things that we do is off of fears. You scared. You ain't no reason to jump a gun. Ain't no reason to try to rush anything unless you're afraid to die. And if you're afraid to die, you don't have your affairs in order. See, you got it in order, again, according to the world, because you probably got life insurance and all this insurance, all your little fake security blankets. Like we were talking about, you can only eat on the fake for so long. But if you don't have blessed assurance, all that other stuff, you might as well burn. Geico's and policies, all state, they can't cover you from hail damage. I mean, no. Hail damage that you get. Listen.
double hockey sticks.
Yeah, for that one. That one. And you know what thing I noticed about when people be like, go to hell? See, people made it out to be like it was a bad thing. Like, no. That's their advertisement. Mm-hmm. See, you're reading it wrong. They're saying, go to hell. Hey, if you live according to death culture, come on, everybody, go to hell with me. Because that's the only thing that they could be encouraging you to do. It's not just like a sentencing, it's their advertisement. You guys come on, go to hell. No.
What did she say? Because I know she said so when she walked out.
I was like, because he came out, that's my nephew. So he like, I'm like, he looking, he like, so I was like, yeah, those are my friends. He said, hey, friends.
He knows how to be a rock to friend.
All you have to know
was his He's just like, hi, friends.
He's like, I don't care what their name
is. Who is that?
When you start
being friends with them.
Man,
it's
These are one of the ones that really get me. And I don't even know what made me think about this from you seeing it. Have y'all ever seen that meme? What? Not even a meme, but like it. Yo. I need a life score right now. Like I'm on a whole like, mind you, they're playing with my balloon for my business. So he blows up to hip hop. I'm like, excuse me. Anyway, but have y'all seen just way to go with a bang last episode of the season? So yeah, but did you ever see the post? If you hang with anybody, I don't fool with. You not really my friend. So at 38, I can't like them because y'all don't get along. What kind
and then the person that say that
always the most
abrasive friend.
Like you don't get along with
nobody.
And we don't even get along. First of all, Do you even know why y'all don't even get along? No, I'm not even gonna just say you. Do y'all a lot lack of communication? I told you my cousin had shared something. It was like before you hold a grudge, hold a conversation. A lot of times, if you ask two people what is going on, why you don't like it, I just don't. That's not a reason. There is very seldom where someone can actually explain an incident, an event that happened, and this is the why. It's never that. It's almost never that.
And they always have
too. So you have one person got a story and another person's got a story, and then you have to find the truth or the facts of the matter in order to figure out what was really happening. Even though, again, as Rock True friends, that's one whole and complete, we know both y'all wrong. But we still got to find the facts of the matter as to what's really occurring. Because another thing that Doc was talking about earlier, after the factors takes place, the event takes place, there's rumination. And that rumination is what's happening. It's not even what occurred. It's now the new stories that you keep remaking into your head. And so like Jate is saying, when you get down to what happened, you don't know, because you just know the story in your head, or you know it really wasn't no reason. You ain't want to be their friend no way anyway. And you just, I don't know. I don't like, you don't even know her. And even if you knew her yesterday, you don't know her today, because if you knew, again, one whole and complete, you understand growth process. And even right here, right now, it is 6:53. Every second after I said that, I just grew. You don't know me, and I just met the new me just a second ago. So it's 6:54. I'm a new me too, and I'm greeting her. Hey, queen.
And the crazy thing that y'all like that y'all mentioned that's conflict resolution. Like I learned this in like second or third grade. Like they actually trained us. They had a group of kids every recess hour or whatever that we would be the conflict resolution people, and whenever there was a fight or misunderstanding on the playground or whatever, the teacher would bring the conflict resolution person. Yeah. So another student back with the other two students or a group of students or whatever involved. And that's exactly how we would do. We would sit them on opposite sides of the table. The person in the conflict resolution position would sit there and listen to both sides. They would let one side tell their whole story, the other side tell their whole story. And we were the mediator, and we would say, well, how do you feel about what they said? Can you confirm or deny? Right, well, what was your actual intention? Like we had to ask the leading questions to make them really pull out what was actually the problem. Okay, well, what is the solution that you would be happy with for this conflict?
That's it.
And it was usually over like playground equipment and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it mostly just amounted to taking turns. Sharing.
And hold on. But look at what you're saying. Because why isn't that not the same answer for today? Majority of it is just taking turns. Taking turns. Today is my turn. Yesterday or tomorrow could be yours. And then after that, guess what? My turn could come up again. You know what I'm saying? If you watch in the playground, you on the swing and everybody get their turn, guess what? What do? You get back in line. We got forever wristbands. You get right back on in line. And it could be your turn again instead of you just, I don't even know why. So she already done had two. If you get back in line, you can have two too. But again, you all up in somebody else's business.
Worried about what they got.
Worried about what they got.
Maybe you ain't supposed to have two turns.
Maybe you weren't supposed. Maybe your mama came to pick you up. It's time for you to come up off the playground. And all you needed was one. I'm just saying, why are we doing this to us?
Because they want all the turns. And that's the thing, is like they only want to be the one to enjoy it. And like that's I feel like that's weird. Because if I'm in a space with more than just myself, I'm gonna want other people to enjoy the space as well. Like
and just as much as me. And just as much as me. Like I want everybody to be like that's what like I want that even with Rock Truth, I want everybody rocking truth, because rocking truth is freedom. I don't understand how you can walk around living a lie. I did when I lacked identity. Yeah. I can walk around living a lie trying to fit in places that I don't belong. Queen.
It feels like being buried alive. Never been buried alive, but I know that be people's like real life fears, like they like literally be like they have to see a therapist about this fear of being buried alive or claustrophobia and all this other stuff. But that's how people walk through their lives.
Queen, like
literally,
you're dead, yo. You dead, yo. When he talk about can these bones live, he talking about you. You are dead, clinically dead. Check your life. You ain't moved. You ain't progressed. You ain't went nowhere since the last decade. We are clearly in a new decade, and you still talk. Bro, do you know how many people live
mad about
a whole nother time zone? And I'm not talking about Central or Mountain. You are living in 1993. Now, this is some real stuff. Your mind is mentally living in 2006. That's worse. It's worse. Any time you're living in the past is horrible.
Back when I was in high school, like, and I'm like, and they be like, they'll be older than me, so I'm just like, I haven't talked about high school since college. That's high school was still relevant when I was in college.
My queen. I came across the post that somebody was like, yeah, the new generation, they didn't toe up loyalties and all and honesty and being. I said, hold on. Somebody passed them the alley-oop. You can't just say
somebody
they did.
Showed them somebody how to not have integrity.
Somebody allotted them not to have it. Somebody gave them the ghetto pass. And but which generation did it?
Now it's the principal. The principal of what?
Of
who? Of what school?
Of what school of thought? What school of thought?
What principal?
We gotta ask these questions. Like we have to.
What was his name and lean on me?
Sam.
If it was him, he tight though. If if that's the principal you talking about, okay, I get it.
What you about Joe Clark? Oh yeah. Joe Clark said that. He said that. Right.
It's not funny. It's not a funny part, but everybody unfortunately laughed. Remember, he took him on. He was like, "You smell crack, don't you jump?" Like,
don't you smoke crack.
You might as well jump.
Don't mess around with it.
You see how he was He was, and that was a prime example because the whole lesson to those seeing it was, okay, you are doing this action that is literally killing you. So you want to die? Go ahead and jump. But you see how you didn't jump because you really don't want to die.
You don't.
You really don't want to die.
Nope.
You really want the correction.
You really want the teaching. You really want the education. You really want the love.
The attention. Yes. That's all it is. When you walk through life feeling ignored or underappreciated.
Hold on, Queen. Underappreciated by who? The people you want to appreciate you, not the people that God has around appreciating you.
And that be it too.
Your daddy, stop looking to your family, stop looking to your friends. Look at what God give you.
Exactly, because nobody is required to do a thing for you or around you. So the people that are, they deserve appreciation just like how you looking for it, like because they're doing it.
And
like they don't have to. They use their free will. They use their God-given gift of free will to grace you with their appreciation. And it's like and that's the humbling thing about it is like people be like, oh, you can't nobody give me grace or like, you know, it'd be like that weird, like, you know, like they feel offended that now that they feel quote unquote indebted to someone because they showed them love, they showed them support, they gave them something to be grateful for from them. Like, oh, I ain't asked them to do that. Okay, and that's all the more reason why you should be grateful that they did. What is wrong with you? Like, I've literally been in contact with these type of people, and then looking at myself in that situation, like I was so disappointed in myself. Like when I look back on it, I was like, I definitely condone that behavior because I didn't say that right then when they were doing that you're supposed to be grateful for that. Like that's not okay to be ungrateful, whether you asked for them to do that for you or not. They did it and you accepted it. If you didn't want to have to show gratitude, you ain't got to accept nothing from nobody. They giving it.
No, you don't. And you know you needed it. That's the crazy. But here's the thing: you so badly want it from somebody else, and
And
that's
that's
the
what it be.
part. The quote was it? I don't know. Did you
It
post
didn't
it?
come. It didn't come from where you wanted it. So you looking at it like
Yeah.
this, gum on the bottom of your shoe. But whole time that's the blessing you was praying to
That's the
God for
blessing.
all week long,
I'm
all
telling
month
you.
long, all year long, and then here's somebody come that you wasn't expecting. Your foe, your frenemy, your whoever you want to call it.
Come on.
I don't need no handout from somebody else just trying to stab me in the back or just gonna talk about me later like they helped me with. Ain't nobody helped me with nothing. You sound extra special.
Listen.
You sound like you've been dropped on your head way too many times, because I don't care if you my frenemy, if you my foe, you've been talking trash about me behind my back, but I was praying to God that I needed XYZ and you pop up with XYZ. I'm like, oh, thank you.
Well, I'm gonna get mad at
the
middleman.
That's pride. That's pride. You need it, but you would rather continue to go without before you take it from them. What does the Bible tell us? Pride is goes before destruction. So it could be food, and you literally have some people because of pride, because of who it is. I starved because, and they really will. You would rather continue to go without eating. Don't you understand how you are hurting yourself? And so you think that you're spiting them. No, you're spiting your stomach. Yourself. Your body.
Cut off your nose.
Face. Because they at home sleeping.
They sleep at
night. They don't have nothing.
No issues.
No problems.
And then the thing about it is, because we said this last week when we talked about how you have people running around mad because people aren't doing things for them, but you have not even let anyone know I got family and I shouldn't be going through this. Does anybody know? Excuse me.
True.
Yeah. Do anybody know you going through it? Like you sitting there just in your hot mess. Like you see me in this hot mess. Like, or they don't, like, they not like, and that's the thing, like, you don't know what somebody else see. You ain't got their eyeballs in your head, so you don't know what they see, what they paying attention to, or their perception of it, because they assuming that since you sitting in your warm, that you're comfortable. Maybe you was cold.
Listen.
They will actually perception. They will talk about different, and they know that, and they will literally talk about them to other people, making, and it's like, did you ask? And what did you say, Doc, last week? Closed mouths don't get fed. So nobody's starving you. You're starving you. If that's one thing after we ask for help, but if we refuse to ask for help, nobody else is watching you starve. You are starving yourself.
That's it.
You're starving yourself.
That's it.
Like clear and plain.
It was one quote real quick before we go out of here that I posted. It was saying, the famous saying, when one door closes, another door opens. It's actually a famous quote by Alexander Graham Bell. Quote ends, but that's the crazy part, because this is what we do so much. We do not read.
Pluck out what's useful for what we're trying to do.
Understand?
Take it out of context and wrap that thing around and then stretch it out of shape.
This what we do. And then we try to say, we do the same thing with the Bible. You pulling out quotes and stuff just to apply to your ghetto situation. He ain't in none of that. You ain't even reading the whole thing. I'm trying to tell you, folks doing this all the time. It says the quote ends with, so I'm going to read it all together. When one door closes, another door opens, but we often look so long and so regretfully upon the closed door that we do not see the ones which open for us. We keep looking towards people we believe that are, again, they got the title, so we believe they should be in position. And I stress that because we as people look for approval from our parents. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's one big source. Forget other people, your parents. And your parents don't owe you nothing. They don't owe you nothing. They were your usher here. Just say thank you. Because I wouldn't have got here other than that. Thank you for my mom on my birthday.
They're not even required to raise you.
Listen, sis. Teach. Okay. I'm going to let you go into that in just a second, please. My mama on my birthday, I bought her flowers. And so my mama was like, "What is this? Well, thank you for having me." I'm like, "Yes, thank you so much for making an immature decision, premeditated immature decision. I'm sorry, so that I could be here." Because again, she was married. They wasn't married. They were fornicating. I'm sorry. If it wasn't for her fornication, guess what? There's no Selena Kite. So God will use who He wants for what He wants when He wants. And we be so quick to dismiss folks because they're not doing things according to your plan, right? Not God's plan, your plan. Because He used who He wants when He wants, like I said, how He wants. And we'll get upset with them and it's just like, come on, man. Come on. Be grateful. Stop. But if somebody can have a title, it does not make them obligated to one thing. One thing. Where's the obligation that you have for yourself?
People don't like that responsibility. But they want somebody else to be responsible for them, and they're not willing to be responsible for themselves.
And totally responsible for themselves. You were supposed to, well, what part was you supposed to do?
Since you know my job description so well, you HR now. HR didn't even know our job descriptions at our job. Like seriously, they had to go and find a man. Like I don't know what they had. It was a mess. They didn't know what nobody was doing in that building.
And then they have to ask people. They have to go find some stuff, and then they got to go get somebody in process and say, "Hey, what else do y'all do?" Okay, because we're gonna just put all of it. They don't. They know
that's exactly what they do. They have to go to the person that's doing the job already and say, well, what do you do here? And then the person that half the time they doing something that's technically really not a part of the job description when they were hired to do that. So,
sis, you have brought me up from the dead. Sis. You made that up, fam. You made that up. You didn't have to do that.
You know, these freaking extras are like, oh yeah, and you got to check the mail too, huh?
And a lot of times, what happens? He done told you to do it because that's his job. He got you doing it.
Because you didn't know what you were supposed to be doing. People can tell you anything about what you're supposed to be doing because you didn't know what you were supposed to be doing in the first place.
Teach query. They can tell you anything. You believe it. And that's part of, going back, listening to that tape before we get out here again. I'm so sorry. We was listening to that tape, the podcast that you sent, and he was talking about how information ain't everything. And I said, right, because information is not truth. Just because you have information don't make it true. Revelation is truth, is not information. You can't just have it hard and just be like, oh, I got it.
Right. And that's what he said. You have to apply it. Is it applicable?
Is it applicable? Does it, are you trying to make, again, that exception rule? Are you trying to do that?
Oh, God, see, and that is the seed of hypocrisy. When you go and do the manipulating this and the fixing that, it's when I did it was different because no, we are not judged like that. We ain't judged like that. What's done is done is done. What's sin is sin is sin. Okay, so you can't be like, oh well, I'm in the same situation, but I got here a different way. So my current situation is different from that other person. No, it's not.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
No, it's not. The only thing that should have been the same is the outcome. You should have got the same outcome that I got. God is. At the end of every day, I don't care what you're going through. Your outcome should have been the same outcome. I don't care which way you went, which route. You come to the same conclusion, constructed idea. God is, God been. And if you didn't get that, that was you.
Whoop.
That was you. All righty, y'all. Yo, we closing out this season. I'm going to give final remarks regarding Baywatch and how it was from you beginning to end. We'll start with you, Doc. We'll start with you. I was going to start with you today. But we'll start. Jatay, she regulating right now. It's all right.
Right. Mount up.
A clear black night. A clear black moon. So let's go ahead and summarize. Baywatch. What was this for you, Doc?
This was a wonderful cascade through perception, and I would say belief as well. So, as to how you yourself are a puzzle piece of the whole picture. And I think a lot of times we lose sight of that. Like, no puzzle piece is the same. And we all have a place in the puzzle, and we all fit in a certain particular spot. And so the minute you try and put a piece where it doesn't belong, you ruin the picture, you ruin that piece and the other pieces that you try to connect it to. So we have to be very mindful of the connections that we're forming, the connections that we're breaking, because sometimes we intentionally break connections, and that is probably what's best for all parties involved. But we also have to be very aware of the ones that we try and hold on to that are meant to be broken as well. So, and it's not about not trying to resolve stuff. Like, you should absolutely try and resolve things, but you have to also understand that that's a multi-sided decision. Like, you can decide that you want to mend or correct some type of misunderstanding or situation, but the other person is not on that same page. You haven't failed. But if that's what you decided to do, then whenever they decide they're ready to correct or mend that situation, you have to remain ready, because that is true friendship. That is absolutely what is the foundation of a relationship. So being ready and standing behind with the integrity behind your decision based on your position and your perception, not based on what you think someone else's intentions are or how someone else would perceive something. Like, oh, they taking my kindness for weakness. Like, it's not none of your business what they taking your kindness as. It is your business to be kind. So that's absolutely where I sat with this whole thing, and I loved the board games too, and understanding that the games that we play, nobody wins. There is no winners in any of the games that we play. And when you play Monopoly, even the person sitting up there with the big stack of money, guess what? Now all your siblings who you done jacked up for they properties, and you done collected all they rent and stuff. Guess what? They finna beat you in your sleep. They gonna eat all the snacks. Like, why you ain't save me now? Well, why you ain't let me get that property up off you? And they holding that grudge. So there's no winner. There's no winners in these games that we playing. So it's like, put the games down, and it's time. It's, if you do play a game, play chess. That's a fully mental game that will grow everyone involved. So if it's not a growth game or something where lessons can turn into learning and love, then there's no reason to play the game.
Teach, Queen. Teach. Jate, final thoughts on Baywatch.
Just exactly what she said, to not worried about, because I'm not gonna lie, I've done it before and I'm still working on it. But I think human nature is to love them if they're loving you back. If she not gonna call me, if he not gonna call me, I'm not calling her. He wouldn't do it for me, she wouldn't do. Just for me to focus on what I'm supposed to be, especially when at the end of the day I want to love you, or like I said earlier, I want to talk to you, but I'm not going to talk to you. I mean, I'm not going to call you because I'm waiting for you to call me. I want to see if you miss me too. Those are games. And at the end of the day, everybody loses when we play the wrong game. Secondly, and most importantly, that I need to let Jesus be the lifeguard. I can't save anybody, and I shouldn't try. Now I absolutely can, and I will, because who he created me to be. I will absolutely love and support people, but I have to remember to stay in my lane. Only he can save them. You know what I mean? Even when I hate to see them going through difficult situations, I need to stay out of the way. I need to love and I need to support them through that, but I need not try to pull them out and try to save them. How am I going to be the lifeguard? How am I going to save them when he's the only one that can save them, and he's the one that saves me? How he does it for me. So you know,
Teach.
he does it for me. Me and Will talked about this, you know, even down to parents. You know, I love my kids, but the reality situation is I cannot, it's not about not wanting to be. I cannot be all that God is. He can love them. He's the places that I'm not. Even if I'm on my way because I know something is going down, he's already there. It is impossible for me to be to the people I love what I want to be. So I need to allow him to be what only he can be. Because, like I said, sometimes in trying to save them, I'm actually drowning them. I am robbing them of the opportunity to grow into their fullness. So to let Jesus be the lifeguard, for me to just be the floaty, be the floaty. Don't be the lifeguard.
I love that. I love that. Because he didn't ask nobody to play Jesus Jr. He placed his image in us, but he don't need you to be him. He needs you to love like him perfectly, but he don't need you to be him. He needs you to be 100% you. Yeah, I love the board games. Most importantly, I love that nobody wins. You know what I'm saying? Nobody wins. That's just crazy. And for me, out of this one, like Doc was saying earlier, we noted that we have a hang up. We have a hang up with being a friend and nothing else, and a friend without expectation. We have a problem here. You hear so many relationships are broken up because where the other person didn't what? When you go to work, how many people signed your documents and stuff? Who get your paycheck? You know what I'm saying? Like, this is crazy. This is insane how we think. And what I throughout this, we ended up watching Human this summer that's on Netflix. And that's when I saw the nervous system and how it works. And when the amputee was talking about how no matter what, his brain don't know that the other part of his arm is missing. When somebody throws a ball or a frisbee, his arm automatically responds in catch. The brain don't care if it caught it. The brain don't care. The nervous, it doesn't care. It does its job. My sister, she had a friend. He was, well, I want to say as a friend, it was a coworker. He was autistic. I can't really think of his name. I'm just gonna call him Tom. But she said, all the stuff going on around the job and people coming up to each other, they, sidebars talking about stuff. And somebody tried to go talk to Tom about it. And Tom was like, I don't know anything about that. I'm here to do my job. And I can't talk to nobody because I'm supposed to do my job. See, he autistic. He got a one-track mind. That's how you should be. Focused on your business. Focused on what you came here to do. Love his way. He didn't give you a beauty hair salon for you to have a salon and have chairs and mirrors and to do people hair. He gave you the people's heart. You are responsible for cultivating them for return on his investment. And I'm going to say that again. Return on his investment. It ain't money. He put you in place to make no money for him. What you think he need? He ain't short on nothing. Who you think you serving? He the king of kings. He got more than everybody. It's all his. He's expecting a return of hearts back to him based on the representative he put in place at that beauty salon. So for me here, this was imperative for our growth, for us to see where we are, where we're stuck, because we all stuck at the door, which is Christ. We all stuck at the door with our own religiosities and our own ideologies and ways in which we think we're going to get in. We all stuck at the door with the stuff we still held up on, and Christ ain't. He off the cross. Matter of fact, he off the cross. He died. He went into the tomb. He went to hell, got the keys, came back up. He ascended, came to talk to y'all again. Like, he came to talk to y'all again and then went up, had a whole nother speech. He wasn't even off the clock when he was supposed to be off the clock. Had a whole nother speech and then went up. And then y'all still trying to get him to come up off the throne to solve problems that he put the power that he had on the cross for you to go ahead and solve. This is crazy. And if we don't change for ourselves. Come on, think about the generations to come. There are people today dying internally, and all you can think about is yourself. Send a signal. Don't worry about who coming. Stop worrying about what it looked like. That's another thing. Let me please point that out, because this was growth for myself. Stop trying to put a face on who God is sending your way. Put character on that thing. If you pay attention to anything like she was talking about, what would you get fired for? You ain't getting fired for an accident. You're getting fired because of your character flaw. When they look for a job and they're looking on Facebook and stuff, they're looking for your character. Are you say who you claim to be behind the scenes and in public? Because that's the problem. Everybody want to put on a fake facade. And like dude said, you can only fake it for so long. You can only entertain that fake for so long. And it's literally going to tear up the internal system that you have. You know, so this was a dope segment. This was a dope season. I'm honored to share this with you guys. And we're going into a new show, a new what do I want to call it? What is it? It's a new what?
A new theme.
A new theme. I like that, guys. Because this is like a season. Because we actually went 3 months in. The next one is going to be about 2 months, and we're going to deal with the battle of the wheels. And it's so me. I was going to go get my notebook and kind of read off the things, but now y'all got to tune in for this, because this one going to be amazing. And again, all the focus and primary focus going to always be character. Character, because it's about what he's building inside of you. You know what I'm saying? So, all right, y'all, we out for the Baywatch season, man. We got to put up our swimsuits and stuff and get ready for the fall. And get our fall boots and jackets.
Wait,
that was my
favorite. Remember what's it David Hasselhoff? How you say his name?
David Hasselhoff.
Do this thing. Yo.
Yes. Wait a minute.
Hello.
Okay, I thought I saw something else. All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and get out of here. I'm thinking, Battle of the Wheels. Go get some boxing gloves, lady. Go get some boxing gloves. And get the thing he's gonna left that thing. And come on, let's be like farm partners. This gonna be fun. All right, guys, we are out of here. Don't forget, RockSingle, rock true, or absolutely nothing, yo. Stop living this fake life now. Stop. You're not helping your body, and you're not helping yourself. All right, guys. Peace.